afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to just sit here and show you how I color my die cuts. Okay, so I bought this die from Temu and I printed off the picture. And I'm actually just going to go in the same kind of color scheme as that one. So we're going to go pinks. We're going to go pink ink. Right, now let's get a brush, a light pink brush, and we'll start with light pink. So this is the hat, and I'm just going all over with spun sugar. Okay, and the same with the band of the hat. Thankfully, Riley's just gone up to his bed out of the way so we won't get disturbed. David's in bed, he's on night shift, and TJ is at the school barbecue with his Auntie Jade and Grandpa Terry. So, hey, we got the afternoon off. Although I'm sure he'll be home soon. Right, what colour next? I'm going to go in with a little bit of saltwater taffy. Around the edges. And I'm just going to come up both sides of this about thirds, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Kind of like that is the way I do it. Light, medium and dark is the way I colour my die cuts. And then I'm going to take some of this, what you might call it, picked raspberry. And I'm just going to go round the very edges of the hat, like that. And then I'm just going to come up 1/3 of the way around both sides. And then that should be your hat. Now this, I believe, is the pom-pom. So I've got a little light grey already on this brush, and all I'm doing is, you can barely see it. Wait, we'll see if we find Lost Shadow. See if that'll help. I just want a little bit of colour. There, that'll do. I know you probably can't see it, but I can. And that is what matters. Okay, so let's just tidy it up. Saltwater taffy. Right. So then the scarf needs to be the same. So once again we are going in with spun sugar all over. You have to be careful too when you're doing this, because some of these are quite delicate and you have to be careful not to tear them apart, because that would defeat the whole purpose of them. Right, so there we go. We're pretty much done. Then saltwater taffy. We're just going to leave a little bit in the middle. Light. Okay. You don't want to put too much on. That finger bit in the middle is the bit that is going to be the lightest. Spun sugar, salt water, and then picked raspberry. And then we're just putting that at the very edges. I don't want to put on too much ink because I don't want it too dark. I need it graduating, getting gradually darker or gradually lighter depending on your perspective. Right, so that's those 3 bits. Okay, so we're going to do our face now, and we're going to take a light brown that we have. Whatever light brown I have on this is what we're using. Okay, and that's going to be your face. This is going to be your coat, and I think I'm going to do the coat in a different colour. So then what her hair is there. So whatever ink I have on my brown brush, I am going in with it first. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little bit darker. Let me see what colour brush corduroy would be. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to gather twigs. I could have swore I bought a new one. I did. I bought ground espresso. This might be too dark. Ooh. So I just want to put a little bit of it at the bottom. There we go, and that's her hair. And I've got a bit of pink on that one. And then I'm just going to go back over with that light one, just to blend it all together. And that is that. And here's what I'm going to do before I forget. I finally found my label maker. Apparently I was printing my name. So, settings, preview, language set, yeah, okay, that's all okay. It's not October, it's the 18th one. How do we change that? Okay, no. Nope. Okay, how do we get out of that? Cancel. Gee, no, I need the format. Size, style, okay. Outline, no. Shadow, vertical, normal, okay. G, and then ROUND and a capital E, and then SPRESSO, ground espresso. And there we will print a name for that while we were sitting there. Very handy to have if you're a crafter is the thingy-majigger. And then you just press the thing at the side and it comes off, and then it splits around the back to get the backing off. Now this is not the one I normally use, but it's done now. It's not the font I normally use, but it's done now. So what I'll do It'll have to do. See if we get that bent over. There we go. Ground espresso. Okay. I have a couple of more greens there that I got, but I'm not doing them now. So now her hair would go on there. Okay. And then her hat and her scarf. Scarf, does it go under? It goes under there like that. Under and over and under. Don't make a blunder. Right? So that's that bit. Then the hat and the band. Like that. Okay, and then the bauble would be up there like that. Right, now what's all these other little bits? Oh my giddy aunt. Right, so this is the bodice of the coat. This is one of the edges of the coat. This is the boots. Right, we'll do your boots. We're going to give her a green coat and green boots. Simply because we can. I need a light green. I'm going to start with Shabby Shutters, a light green, and we're going to do her coat and her feet. Okay, like that. Right, so that's that. And then we want to do, I've got this. This is a new one, this Lucky Clover. I'm not sure how it's working, so we will just try and be careful. In saying that, I put a lot on, and I need a shadow under the arms. Okay, so then we will go back in with our Shabby Shutters because some of that was a bit darker than what I planned. What about these from the bottom up? We'll do from the bottom up there. You don't want to go up too far. Okay, and then we're going to get pine needles. Oh, what about forest moss? What would forest moss do? Oh yes, we're going to go with the forest moss. Just to give it a little bit of a dark or a hint of a soul. I think works better. I think the hint of the soul works better. I just layering it up to get some depth. And I do want to do under that arm. It's not really my favourite colour, but it'll do. It'll be grand. Right, so that's the fur bit. So we're just going to leave that like that because I'm going to glitter those, I believe. Now, how now, brown cow? That's the deer's head. Okay, we're getting finicky now. Lucky Clover. We're getting finicky now. And we need to clean that off. Right, so we need to try and find, there is a glove. And that is one of her legs, I believe. And that is the other one, because they have done them in stripes in this picture. Now, it wouldn't be nice if we could colour it like that picture, but unfortunately, there's detail in there that you don't get in the die cuts. So, we're just going to roll with it. I do not know what half of these bits are. So that looks like a cuff for her glove. And then, you see, I am not sure what this other bit is meant to be, because that snowball is meant to be in there, like that. And then we need, like, those are bows for her socks. And that's the stuff for the reindeers. That's his antler, that's his head. What is that? And what is that? I have no idea. I think I am missing some bits. I do indeed. I think I am missing some bits. I'll need to cut more because this is the body. These are cuffs and things. Those are definitely her legs. I don't know what all these little bits are for, apart from eyes. I'd say that's her eyes and her nose. And then, or maybe that one is, and that belongs to the, who-do-you-ma-call-it? The what-you-ma-call-it? No, that little bit there looks like the eye for that. So, we'll go and cut some more bits and see how we get on from there. Did that work? Yep, it did. Right, so I've cut out the wee deer bits, and I've actually got out my sticky map for I need to do footery bits, and I can't do them on that bigger one. So I'm doing her legs pink again, and I'm going to do her gloves pink, and I believe these two bits are her gloves. Okay. Right, where is my, what-do-you-ma-call-it? Pink one, that's it. I just want to put a little pink, whatever excess is on this brush, because I don't want too much. Did I not do that other one? Doesn't look done. Oh, okay. Right, and all I'm doing, I'm not even doing the saltwater taffy. I'm just going to end with the picked raspberry to add a little bit of depth. And this is footery, but cutting it out in different, figuring out which bit needs to be what and cutting it out in different colours is just as footery. So either way, you have to take your time, and this way I don't have to cut multiple bits. I just cut the bits, hopefully hopefully once, generally twice, and stick them all together. Okay, so next is our wee reindeer's head and his body and his antlers and his tail. Okay, right, now there is another tail in there. That's his eye. I know that that's his eye, and it's going to be dark, and the laces on our boots are going to be dark. That one's the wrong way around. Okay, so where is the dark brown? Because that's what we're putting on our laces. And that's the colour we're going to do his eye. Because it's black in there and I don't know if I want it black. No, that's a bit darker now. So that's his eye. Right, so let me see. Let's take this pumice stone and just ever so slightly ground him. Just ground him and then put a bit where his mane should be. Okay, take a little bit and just do under his chin. And maybe just up here. And then we're going to give him a light brown tail. And we're going to give him brown antlers. Okay, and then we need a dark brown. Do I not have a smaller one? I do. Dark brown, and I'm going to take gathered twigs and just go up the bottom. Okay, and then maybe just at the edge of his tail. Okay, and that is all we're doing for him. There. Right, so his little eye should go on there. If we could get the glue, there we go, wreck the joint again. I just want the tiniest little bit. Oh, is that too much? And then a tiny little bit on there. And a tiny little bit on there. Okay, where's our tweezers? Tweeze me. You know how to tweeze me. Oh yeah. I got no bloody tweezers in there. Where's my other ones? You know, there bound to be about 4 pair of tweezers in this craft room somewhere. Something is singing at me. I know not what. Oh, where is that pink one? We're just going to put a bit of pink under his ear. And we have to find another ear. for the other side. But we'll glue him on there anyway. And that goes on his butt. Come on. And then these are going on. One there. And one under there. Tiniest little bit of glue. Okay, so we need to find another ear. I think that's it there. So it is. Okay, folks, the hubby came in and I finished what I was doing automatically. So this is the finished result of my inked die cuts. This is a tonic glitter pen, glitter glaze is it called, and I am going over the hat bauble with it to give it a little bit of glitter, and I'm going to do the snowball as well. Okay, so that the snow glistens. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's pretty. It is pretty. And when it dries, I'm going to go over it again with another coat. And that's our little girl finished with the little deer all ready for her snow party. So, I hope you like watching me colour my die cuts, getting an idea of what I do. And thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I do hope you're all doing really well. Hope you have a great day, and until the next time.